question. Why do most companies in the UK find it hard to sponsor jobs for international students? Is it the visa process or the fees? And can we, the applicants, pay our own visa fees? Is that something you can do? Do companies accept that?
So yes, it's a very interesting question, and something that came up at the meeting I attended. We looked at the recent statistics to the numbers of companies actually applying for Tier 2 sponsorship. So the Home Office has actually encouraged companies who might not need a sponsorship license now, but will need one next year when the category changes to include EU workers. They've encouraged them to try and apply as soon as possible, not leave it until the end of the year or until January, February. They'll get it a boom, and the Home Office won't know how to cope. There actually hasn't been a drastic increase in companies that have applied to become sponsors. And we don't know whether that's COVID related or what the situation is, or but there has not been a massive increase, or an increase that we'd expect to see. In terms of the reasons why, I don't know, it's on a company basis. The companies that I do act for, which are small to medium, I know that a factor is really uncertainty and not knowing what the process is and not knowing how it's done and thinking it's worse than it is. So usually with legal advice and to guide them and guidance, then they are more than happy, particularly if, which is always the case, they value the person that they want to sponsor, because it's a huge investment. So that, I think that would be the main thing. But as I think I mentioned last time, because sponsorship is going to be more or less the norm for most businesses, hopefully then this thing of not knowing how it's done or what the consequences are or what to do will go away, because it will be more the norm less than the exception.
Yeah.
And they would get used to it. I think that really is the main thing. It's not usually, even for small to medium business, it's not really the financial bit that's an issue. It's just not knowing how it's done, sometimes not even knowing it's possible.
Yeah, not knowing it's possible, not knowing how it's done, being a little bit worried about the extra responsibility or not getting the paperwork right. As students being employed by UK companies, you represent an extra responsibility for them. So this can make certain employers feel a little bit apprehensive, I think. But again, the kind of companies that that we list inside Grad Careers Coach and inside our membership are companies that don't have that barrier in place. So they're very used to sponsoring. They sponsor hundreds of visas every day. I should say process, and these are large global companies where sponsorship is not a big barrier. So there are a few reasons, but I can understand why, from your perspective, you might feel that UK employers don't want to hire you. I totally get that feeling, but what you have to try and do is also understand the process from their perspective as well. And it's up until now, it's been quite difficult. I'm hoping from 2021 it's going to be a lot easier, a lot more streamlined, as Gina says. So things will get a lot better and you will find more employers willing to sponsor. But until then, I would really just focus your attention and your applications on companies that are proven sponsors, that don't have any issue with processing your work visa.